Well, we're on the clock. Greetings to you. Today is what, the 11th day? 11th of November, 2025. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad. Well, today is not any different than yesterday, other than more revelations, more information that is not pleasant. Neither is it encouraging if you are a citizen of Guyana and you are concerned about your country. You're concerned about how the monies are spent. You're concerned about how the government is managing your taxpayers' dollar. As every citizen should, you should be worried about how this money is being handled. After all of these political appointees that find their way in the high seat of the public service structure, they get there as a result of you and I. So it is not fair that we collectively made it possible for their dreams to come true, and we have to watch them enjoy not just the fruits of our vote, but our tax dollars. And we have to close our eyes and say, well, they deserve it. After all, they're serving us. If I should break stuff down as to which ministry under the president's cabinet actually serves the Guyanese people, think for a moment which ministry's job or activities directly impacts the Guyanese people. Which ministry that you can say that we can not do without? Would you say all of them? Ministry of Housing, we need that. Ministry of Water and Land, we need that. Ministry of Finance, well, Ministry of Local Government, I don't see the importance, but we need that. Ministry of Health, hell yeah. Education, yes. Social Services, yep. Tourism, I don't see the need for that. Foreign Affairs, who cares? Home Affairs, a priority. Just to name a few that we need, you know, as a society. One ministry I personally don't see the need of is the Ministry of Legal Affairs. I don't see the need for that ministry. The Ministry of Legal Affairs. The Home Affairs Ministry should have a department that deals with legal affairs. the Home Affairs Ministry. They all deal with the law. You have a separate ministry. Not only that, within that ministry, you have a separate Attorney General chambers. Not only that, within that, you have all these other subgroups and all these gangs. That ministry, we don't need. Why do I say that? I say what the average Guyanese also is saying. The government has to have a special ministry to defend itself against the citizens of the country, because the Ministry of Legal Affairs is basically there to do legal stuff for the government. The Attorney General Chambers is specifically designed to be the attorney for the office of the president and those ministries or whatever, in case shit happens, if they should need some legal advice, as if these ministries don't have their own legal department. Yet they have a Ministry of Legal Affairs, but all the ministries have their own lawyers. I guess they were provided by the Ministry of Legal Affairs. I guess so. But we don't need that. All of it can be operated from the Ministry of Home Affairs. All of it. You need a separate one to waste taxpayers' money in non-functional white elephant of a Ministry of Legal Affairs, only designed to go after political opponents that whichever government in power don't like. That's basically the job of the Attorney General, that controls all the prosecutors. And if the government seem to want to help a client or an accused, the prosecutors get the instructions, go easy on that person there, tell the judge we don't need a case, blah, 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 like in the GRA case. That's what the function of the Ministry of Legal Affairs for. And the Attorney General. A rubber stamp. A waste of taxpayers' money. And when I say a waste of taxpayers' money, I mean literally a waste of taxpayers' money. If memory serves me right, just about 2018, that figure stuck in my head. The PNC, their budget was just about 1 billion for the Ministry of Legal Affairs. It's a Ministry of Legal Affairs. MOLA, MOLA, Ministry of Legal Affairs, of which the Attorney General comes in that ministry. He's the minister for that ministry. And Attorney General. Two posts. Minister of Legal Affairs and Attorney General. Two posts, two salaries. Well, the PNC, they had about $1 billion, Guyana dollars, for the operation per year, for the operation of that ministry. And then they would have budgeted other packages for the Attorney General chambers and all the other stuff. $1 billion. That's 2018. If we should fast forward to 2024, last year, the attorney, the ministry, MOLA, the Ministry of Legal Affairs, had a budget passed in the parliament of 6 billion, over 6 billion Guyana dollars, over 6 billion Guyana dollars for the Ministry of Legal Affairs. That's 2024. 2025, fiscal year 2025, this year, that figure rose to almost 7.5 billion Guyana dollars for the same ministry. So from 2018 to 2025, the Ministry of Legal Affairs in Guyana, MOLA, the budget went from 1 billion in 2018 to 7.5 billion in 2025. Not 2 billion, not 3 billion, 7, almost 8 billion Guyana dollars for the Ministry of Legal Affairs. The Attorney General's chamber, just his chamber, has a budget of almost 500 million Guyana dollars a year. Just the chambers of the Attorney General. I don't know how much staff he has. I don't know how many lawyers he has under him or whatever, but he controls just the chamber, his office, like almost $500 million a year in that little room, that location that you see, chambers. The whole ministry is 7+ billion. His chambers is 500 million budget to operate it. And that is supposed to go towards paying staff, just staff, and other perks that comes with it. You know, representation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Now, the same Attorney General Chambers has a budget addition of 21 million Guyana dollars towards maintenance of the chambers. Maintenance, meaning you want a laptop, you buy a laptop. You want to paint the door, you want to fix the window, you want to do whatever. There is a budget here for that. Miscellaneous spending. Miscellaneous. That's not snacks and breaks and trips and parties, and no, that's just towards maintenance, upkeep. Oh, not towards the staff, the janitors and all these other people. Just the extra giving to people who have to do, like, you know, contracting work, like replacing a furniture and whatever it is. They need to do this thing every year. Chairs break, computers break, shit happens, so you need this budget. And every year you increase it for just the chambers. That is not coming out of the 500 million. No, that's extra. Not out of the almost 8 billion. No, that's extra. All of the package. We're talking about close to 10 billion. Close to 10 billion. One man has control over that. Anil Nandalal. One man, that's in his hands as the head of that ministry and the head of everything around that ministry. A fucking billion, almost 10 billion. Almost 10 billion. And you wonder why you are so poor. You wonder why your prices are not going down. Because if the price for a pack of bread in 2018 was 10 Guyana dollars, 10. You have to add on 700% to that to match the increase of the Attorney General Chamber and the whole legal system in Guyana. You got to match that. So when you're asking yourself the question, how come the prices are getting so high? Because the government has to fund the luxurious apparatus for all them fucking ministries and the ministers. And who do you think funds it? You, the taxpayers. You fund it. This ain't loans. They don't fund the government by loans. The government is run by your money, your taxpayers' dollar. That's what caused the government to keep rolling and you rolling and you maintain your money. All the loans the government takes, all that's to infrastructure, to build this and build that and have this program and that program and all the education stuff and all this stuff. Yeah, loans go towards that. But your taxpayer dollars go towards increasing the budget every year for these ministries. And the question is, what justifies the increase for the Attorney General, for the Ministry of Legal Affairs? What justifies from 1 billion to 8 billion in less than 10 years? As a matter of fact, 7 years. In 7 years, from 1 billion to 8 billion, it's 1+ billion per year if you look at it that way. But that's not the case. The massive increase came after the government that we trusted got into office, where all the countries suffered during COVID, all the businesses that were messed up, all the people who lost their livelihood, everybody besides the government officials became poorer for 3 years. While the government officials, the cabinet and their cronies, their lives expanded materially and financially, while the citizens that they're supposed to serve, their lives went the fucking down. Justify 6 billion last year for one ministry that does practically nothing. Justify that. A bunch of lawyers who walk around every day, consulting with whoever, chit-chatting and taking selfies. That's all they do. Prosecutors who serve the interests of the government and not the people. That's all they do. So justify 6 billion per year. Justify that. Explain to the people how this money is spent. Break it down. Because that's just for salary and other benefits. It's not going towards maintenance, nothing. It's just for that. That is just to operate the ministry. Human resource. Guyanese want to know why they're still poor. Tell them why. Explain to the Guyanese people why they are still poor, despite the mass wealth that the country has amassed. Despite that, the fucking citizens are still struggling. You give them an 8% increase, a 10% increase on a 200,000 salary, 20,000, $100 increase. But the cabinet ministries get increases by hundreds of millions, and the citizens get what? $100? It's fucking bullshit. It's nonsense. I don't give a shit what you say. It cannot be accepted. Not in this time. It can't and it should not be accepted. What is it that these people do that deserve that kind of lifestyle they get? What do they do? Give a report. Give a report. I'm dealing with the Attorney General Chambers and the Ministry of Legal Affairs. Who do you defend? Not the citizens. Because right now, you have a case against a citizen to extradite that citizen to the United States. So you're not working for the citizen, you're working for your government, which is the cabinet, not the citizens. But the citizens is financing your war against their own. And not only that, you're using the taxpayers' money to hire lawyers that have failed in their own country to come as a on a fucking circus in Guyana. The insult to the actual genius lawyers that we have in Guyana, constitutional lawyers, lawyers that went to the same fucking school like these Jamaican lawyers, the same school, and even further. You have British trained lawyers in Guyana, American Harvard trained lawyers in Guyana, years of experience. And you skip all of them to go get some Jamaican black lawyers in Jamaica, the country with the highest murder rate in the Caribbean, the most corrupt country in CARICOM, the worst when it comes to morals. Out of that country, you bring 2 lawyers to help the Guyana government win a case against the Guyanese citizen to extradite the Guyanese citizen to a foreign land. Justify that. All the shit they talk about, oh, the Jamaican lawyers, they have experience because of they dealt with so many extradition cases. Yes, because Jamaicans are fucking criminals. They always have to be extradited. That's all they do. Smoke weed and kill each other. They go to other countries, they take drugs, violence, prostitution, then they run back to Jamaica. That's what they do. So of course they will have experience dealing with extradition cases in Jamaica, but not just Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados. I mean, you, Attorney General, you had an issue the other day talking about the CCJ and how CARICOM countries have not signed on to the CCJ, including Jamaica. Now, the countries in CARICOM that signed on to the CCJ, you're telling me they have no lawyers there that you could hire? You went to a country that is not a signatory to the CCJ to take 2 lawyers to come to help you fight a case against your own citizen, regardless of the nature of the crime your citizen is alleged to have committed. My point is, you're taking my fucking taxpayers' dollars to pay 2 Jamaican lawyers 62,000 American dollars for what? And then you come and you lie and say it's the lawyers are funded by the Americans. Blatantly lie. How could the Americans even accept that? How could they accept that, knowing that they're not the ones funding these lawyers? You hire lawyers as a gift to the American State Department to help them to fight a case against your citizen, and you're paying the lawyers? Or are the Americans supposed to reimburse you? How does it work? How does it work? I am not done with that. If the Americans brings a case against a Guyanese citizen, America has thousands, tens of thousands of lawyers. As a matter of fact, all FBI agents, all of them, must be trained in law. And for specific cases, they don't just put FBI agents randomly to cases. If it has to do with extradition, they would take the agents that are trained in that international law and they know what they're doing. They don't need your lawyers to help them. The Americans have capable agents who themselves are trained, experienced lawyers. And a lot of them know Guyanese law more than Guyanese lawyers themselves. So this crap about taking lawyers to help the Americans out is it's just what it is. Crap. It's my taxpaying dollar you're taking and you're embezzling it like that, paying these lawyers from Jamaica. To do what? What have they delivered so far? What? This is not okay. This is zero. The case is still before the courts. They went the first time, bail, 150,000. That's what the 62,000 goes towards. You paying them two lawyers, 62,000 American dollars for a case that was dismissed twice. When I said dismissed, I mean postponed for another date. Did they already get that, or is that a first cut? Is that a first cut for the lawyers? Because I doubt whether that's what you're paying them. That may be a first cut. They need more. You might hear it's $500,000. $500,000 the lawyers take for the case. You might hear that. And since the ministry that you control, Alan Nandalal, has an operational budget of 7.5 billion Guyana dollars, you have a lot of money at your disposal. A lot of money to do with as you wish. You have to spend it, because if you don't, it goes back into if the year is exhausted and the money isn't spent, it goes back. It comes on the next year's budget. You got to find a way to spend the money out. But that's not a good way to do it. That's what the people voted for. That's how the Guyanese taxpayers' dollars are being used. Now you're talking about having Guyana having its own law school in Guyana. You're busy with that, right? So this is what you'll do. Use taxpayers' money, train the lawyers, and then they don't have jobs because you hire foreign lawyers to come to deal with cases where the government is concerned. And yes, the government pays a lot of money. When the government is contracting jobs to private firms, it's a lot of fucking money. They charge like 1,000 times more than the usual price because it's the government. It's taxpayers' money. It's not Anil Nandalal's money. It's the taxpayers' money. So if you charge $1 million, who cares? Who cares? I get a drawback, whatever. We're all buddies. We studied law together. We know each other. And if Jamaica has an issue, maybe Jamaica would ask for the Attorney General of Guyana to come and help them deal with the issue. Maybe. Has it ever happened? Has there been a time when any CARICOM country secured the services of Guyanese professionals to help them in whatever issues they have in their country? Has there been a case where that occurred? If there have been such a case, I would be very happy to be informed. But every time something happens, Guyanese is so obsessed with the foreign thing, the idea that we have a foreigner here, gives credibility to the solicitor. We don't trust our own. Our own is not cool. It's not sexy. Let's have a white man. Let's have some foreigners here. Oh, we have this pastor from the UK. Oh, the churches like to do that. Them fucking low life churches in Guyana. Yes, fucking low life churches in Guyana. They love to do that. They have a crusade. Big announcement. Oh, Bishop Tutu from Nigeria will be in Guyana for this fire filled and Holy Ghost this and this. And come out and be blessed and see God works. Oh, Bishop Tutu from Nigeria. Oh, Bishop this from. They love to do that. And the low life followers that they have get all excited. Oh my gosh, don't you hear? Oh, I see him on TV. I see him on the internet. Oh my gosh, I see him on YouTube. I listen to him. I can't believe he's coming to Guyana. I'm going there. I'll get healed. And they drain their cash grant from the bank. They pawn their jewelry. They take loans just to go to that sham of a crusade to donate their hard-earned, borrowed dollar to the fucking scammer from Nigeria who claims to be a bishop or a pastor. And then they come in and like they go home all shaky. Oh my gosh, I'm blessed. Oh, yeah, I feel the spirit. Oh, the Lord was on me. And then they wake up the next day. And realize no miracle. They're broke, in debt, and regretful. And the scammer, the fucking scammer from Nigeria leaves the country with 2 bags of cash. And they still won't learn. Now the Jamaican lawyers, let's retract. The Adriana case, sadly so. I would like to know, President Irfan Ali, because you came out and you had a lot of mouth on the issue about securing foreigners, 3 doctors, blah, blah, blah. I'm still against it. I was then and I said I'm still against it. Anyway, to come and do the autopsy and to appease those niggas, you know, those black people. How much did you pay for the services of those 3 doctors? Pathologists. How much? And the retired Canadian Mounted Police, the detective or captain or whatever, how much did it cost the taxpayers, not you, not your government? How much did it cost the taxpayers, President Ali, to pay those doctors and the other person for the Adriana case? How much did it cost? Because it's not public knowledge. Why is the figures hidden? Those people didn't come there for free. They had to have been paid. I want to know the figure. Who paid for that? And how much it was? We want transparency. It should be transparent. It should be on the Ministry of Finance's website or the Ministry of Health or whatever ministry that would have come under. Those information as to how much these doctors were paid must be available, must be made public. The Guyanese public must know how their monies are spent. They must know. Transparency, right? I would like to know. Every time they run and bring foreigner, every fucking thing is a foreigner. Oh, get the foreigner. And the foreigners that they always bring to deal with Guyanese issue are never Guyanese living abroad. These foreigners are always citizens from another country. You will think that they have so many well-qualified Guyanese who are living abroad. Scientists, engineers, high-class genius that took advantage of the global system of education. Do their services usually be secured, are usually secured to come to deal with issues in Guyana? No. They take other people. They don't want their own people. Let's get other people. As recent as the other day, the president of Suriname's husband, yeah, he may have a background in agriculture, whatever, but Suriname has issues with agriculture. The man could use a skill right here. You're telling me there is no Guyanese abroad that is well equipped, versed in agriculture and all the science behind it that the government can secure to come and serve their people? You don't think Guyanese deserve the money you're paying these foreigners? And Nandalal, you don't think that no Guyanese lawyer anywhere is worth $62,000 to come and help you with this case? You would rather pay them less in Guyanese currency because you don't think, well, you're Guyanese. I mean, I don't care how smart you are. You don't deserve that kind of money. For example, let me tell you folks what a bunch of idiots we have in government. Let me tell you. Let me explain to you. The PPP would have secured PR firms, public relation firms, before the campaign time, to make the government look good, like PR firms are the firms that will, the publicists, they will make contact with certain news deals, certain newscasts, certain platforms, and they would pay these people through the party to make positive propaganda for the government. PR firms that are not Guyanese, no orientation of Guyana, they have to now go and do research of Guyana, talk to Guyanese people and say, hey, what's up? People like that, the party or the government would have secured to do public relations for the government. And you're telling me there is nobody in Guyana, no platform, no influencers in Guyana or abroad who could have come on their platform and say something nice about the government? None? Well, I practically did it for free because I didn't get paid for it. But you mean nobody they could have secured and say, hey, you're a Guyanese, you're the best person to benefit from this money? No, they hire and they paid thousands of US dollars to non-citizen PR firms to help them look good. When they have Guyanese, I mean, they have a lot of Indo-Guyanese that have wonderful platforms. They're good at what they do. Did the government secure, I mean, the party or government secured these people? Nope. You're like me, you're Guyanese. I can't justify giving you, like $100,000 to do propaganda for me. You're a Guyanese, man. Yeah. But if a white man who has no experience, just a name of a firm or some shit like that, they would give him $1 million to talk some bullshit that would have zero impact. But they would not give a Guyanese that $1 million to do it. That's the idiots we have in the country. The same with what's happening now with most situations. Guyanese live in Guyana, raised, bred, socialized in Guyana. They know their country. They know their citizens. They know everything about their country. But their services will not be secured by their own taxpayers' dollars. The government and these ministries likes the idea that they can take somebody from a far country, way, way, way in Switzerland, all the way at the North Pole, to bring them in Guyana to do research, analysis, and consulting work for the government about Guyanese. The fucking hypocrisy. That's what you're doing with our taxpayers' dollars. Now, these two lawyers from Jamaica, a country that is infested with the worst of the worst of the worst scums, to come and work on behalf of the government. And what is even worse, call me what you want. Call me what you want. I don't give a fuck. Do I look like I give a fuck? You take two black lawyers to come and help you send an Indo-Guyanese to jail? If it was black lawyers from Guyana, you can understand. But you take two black lawyers from Jamaica. Jamaica is a racist country. Talk to the Indians there and they'll tell you how they're discriminated against in Jamaica. Talk to them. They'll tell you. Oh, Jamaica has a lot of Indians, thousands of Indians there. Thousands. But they will tell you how they are marginalized, discriminated against in Jamaica. But yet you bring two black lawyers to help you to bury somebody who looks like you. You couldn't have gotten Indo-Guyanese lawyers to help you? Forget Max, whatever. You're gonna get them from the US? They have a lot of lawyers all over the place. Lawyers are not hard to find. Lawyers are hustlers, they're always ready. The price is right, they're ready. I am against that. You're talking about Guyana first. If Guyana comes first, it means spend Guyana's money on Guyanese and with Guyanese. When you always have to hire foreigners, you are telling Guyanese that they're no good. They're not competent enough, they're underdeveloped, and they must always look to the foreigners, for example. Look at Jamaica and look at Guyana in terms of development. Oh, they had a push start. They had a push start. So don't look at infrastructure. General sense. If it wasn't for Burnham, Guyana would have been the most developed country in CARICOM. If it wasn't for Burnham. 28 years the country suffered. Stuck in poverty. It ain't the people, was the government. So you always having to raise others up above your own kind is not being patriotic. It's being insecure. You have a self-esteem problem. And for all that money that the government is allocating to the Ministry of Legal Affairs, you should expect more out of that ministry, because the ministry does not serve the people, it serves the cabinet of the government, of the president. The cabinet of the president, the Ministry of Legal Affairs serves, not the Guyanese people. The Home Affairs Ministry serves the Guyanese people because you handle all the discipline services and stuff like that. But the Legal Affairs is not, it serves the cabinet. So for all that money, you should be more transparent and honest. But then we are dealing with Alan Nandalal, so honesty is not a thing that is unique to lawyers, is it? Lawyers are professional liars, crooks, vagabonds and thieves who gets protection under the law. Hypocrites. Done away with the Ministry of Legal Affairs. It's a waste of money. Merge it into the Ministry of Home Affairs. Merge it there. Blend it into that ministry. When you have all these ministries that are wasting taxpayers' money, is that what people voted for? Look at the size of that budget. From 1 million in 2018 to 7 million in 2025. Has the ministry grown? Is their staff tripled? If so, to serve who? To serve who? You see what the Venezuelans are still doing? The Ministry of Legal Affairs should be there to advise the government on laws to curtail what's happening with these migrants, so-called economic migrants. Look at who are making the headlines these days. Venezuelans, drugs, guns, crimes, terrorism, Venezuelans. And it is the government prosecutors that would have to prosecute these people under the Attorney General. All that money, the country is budgeting for that ministry, and yet you can't control the crime. Yet you can't put systems in place to protect Guyanese borders. You're supposed to advise all these ministries as to what's legal. You're supposed to be the expert in constitutional law, on international law, and border this and border that. That is your job. But still now you're thinking about tabling bills in the parliament to deal with these things. You had all these years and so much money. How is it spent? 7 billion to pay staff? How much lawyers do you have? How much money these people are earning? Seriously, man. It's an abuse of the vulnerable citizens in that country. We keep the people distracted with all kinds of insignificant, unimportant bullshit every day. And behind the scene, these ministers and all these people are living the lives of kings and queens with the taxpayers' money. With the taxpayers' money. Have you looked at the Netherlands, Holland, the Netherlands, or Europe? Do you see how those ministers live? And those countries are highly developed. Their GDP is like way, way above Guyana's. And those ministers there go to their work on bicycles. Some of them don't even own cars. They get their normal salary. They pay taxes like everybody else. They have to go and buy their own groceries. They have no security, no bodyguards. And they live in rented house, most of them, in Europe. And you got a country that is now struggling to build, to develop. And all you get is abuse of state funds, abuse of the taxpayers' money, abuse and abuse and abuse. That's all you get. And they come out like fucking gods, like they're fucking gods. Yeah, they're gods, these ministers. These ministers. They want you to spread a red carpet for them when they show up. A red carpet with your money. You voted for them because the others were so shitty you couldn't even trust them. You gambled on people that you know are shitty, only to realize that they're a bigger poop than you think they were. But they're already there. Because them and their leaders are in the thing together, they wouldn't fire each other. So whether the president is the president and the minister of legal affairs is the minister, at the end of the day, he say Ali, he say Nandalal. When they're in public, it's President Ali, Minister Nandalal, but in private, they're the same. He can't tell him anything and he can't tell him anything. He's like, hey, you are the president to them, not to me. Hey, you're the minister to them, not to me. That's behind closed doors. And they come in front of you, the public, and put on an act. All of them. You looked at the PNC press conference the other day? Well, I'm sorry, you didn't. Nobody looks at their press conference. But if you had Okay, let's not talk about them. It's useless. Because even if I want to make reference to something they said, you wouldn't know because you don't watch these people. Nobody watches them. But they're trying to be relevant. But they're forgetting that they were just there. Just there. It wasn't long. Now they're coming back and pretending that they know so much. And they fucked up the country for 5 years. Now they're coming back and trying to build from their 12 seat that they lost. No, they gotta go and hang with their new boss, Azruddin Mohammed. Their new boss. And thanks to the Jamaicans who were given the power by a failing attorney general, thanks to them, the Mohammeds will spend Christmas in Guyana, in 2025 Christmas, 2026 Christmas, 2027 Christmas, 2028 Christmas, 2029 Christmas, and 2030. He might very well spend Christmas as the president. Yeah, I can project because of what I'm seeing right now. I can project. All that they're doing right now is just clearing the way for the Mohammeds to have an unchallenged, guaranteed success. 2030. The Mohammeds are continuing their campaign. The Mohammeds are doing the thing I talked about earlier. The Mohammeds are funding Guyanese platforms using Guyanese talents, Guyanese social media pundits, Guyanese influencers living in different countries. The Mohammeds are using them to do the PR work for the Mohammeds, while the PPP use foreigners to do it. The Mohammeds are saying, no, that's where they made a mistake. We're going to fund our own people. And they're doing it. You saw the church in Berbice, the black church in Berbice, gave the Mohammed, the same man you said is a criminal, the sanctioned man that the Americans want to take, they gave him the mic to stand on the sacred place they call the pulpit, to speak to the congregation. And you still ain't waking up? You still ain't waking up? When the Mohammeds get all the blacks in their hand, and it wouldn't take them long to do that. Give them the next year, give them the whole of 2026, and they would have all the black people in their hands. And from 2027, they would start to work, they would begin their work on the Indo-Guyanese. It may take them longer, a bit harder to get the Indo-Guyanese, but they will. And by 2029, they would have had the blacks and the Indians. While you fat cats of the PPP sit around and thinking of how you can increase your budget for your ministry every year, doing nothing but finding ways to pull the money, because you have to show what you're doing with it. You got to invent ways to use the money. You gotta create something. You know, like you're doing some special project for your staff to get more learning, education, go on special training. Oh, we need to extend this building. Oh, we need to do this. And then you say it takes $100 million for this program. Oh, we need to repaint the ministry. It will take $1 billion to do that. That's how you earn. That's how you make money from the budget that you get. Because you can't spend it on staff. How much do you pay your staff? Government employees don't earn much. And the Ministry of Legal Affairs, all the employees are government employees. They don't earn much. How much do they earn? Private practice, you get more. So you can't say 7 billion goes towards staff. No, not true. Government pays their employees money. That's why a lot of people leave. So all these foreign lawyers and foreign this and foreign that, That's where the money goes. You hire people, give me an invoice. Oh, the invoice is over 20,000. Yeah, I'm so low. It's government, you know. Okay, no problem. Then you bill the ministry for 100,000, but the lawyers only charge 20,000, but the invoice is 100,000. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm speculating. I'm allowed to speculate, right? Mm-hmm. I can speculate. I'm not saying that's what happened. But all I'm saying is, how the hell is it you want more money every year for the same ministry? You mean there's more crime in the country? The ministry grew because crime grew. You need to hire more prosecutors because the crime increased. And I thought you said crime dropped. If crime dropped, then the fees, the budget should also shrink. It's common sense, isn't it? Minister Nandalal, you are a failure. Your ministry is a waste of time. Your ministry should be under the Home Affairs Ministry. It's a waste of time. It is better you take that money and you contract Guyanese firms when there are issues that has to be done for the government. There are a lot of firms, legal firms in Guyana that has capable people, and they can very well do good with that money from their own taxpayers. Stop using foreigners to bury your own citizen. Let Guyana solve Guyana's problems, regardless of the nature of it. Every time you're running for FBI, you're running for this one, you're running for that one. And every time you run for these people, you're not telling the government, you're not telling the people how much money the government pays to secure the services of these agents and these people. You're not telling the people that. All the people are seeing is somebody posing as FBI. But you never know how much money is spent. That money doesn't belong to the president. It doesn't belong to the vice president. It doesn't belong to the Ministry of Legal Affairs. It belongs to the taxpayers. None of you ministers don't pay taxes. The president don't pay taxes. So none of the money comes from you. If this is your legacy, it is hurting the people. And I can't say you should stop because you never would. But what I'm saying is, I'm not going to back that. Transparency is important. The Mohammeds has issues. The Americans requested them. Let the Americans provide their lawyers. Let the Americans hire, if they need to, whoever lawyer they want to bring. Guyana has enough legal minds for the Ministry of Legal Affairs to secure prosecutors and lawyers in Guyana, from Guyana, to deal with any case. You're slapping the people in their face, getting fucking Jamaican lawyers. A failed state like Jamaica to come and do business in Guyana in terms of representing the government of Guyana. It's a shame. It's an embarrassment. Get from India. They're the ones funding the government. You get loans from India. You get loans from China. All the countries you get loans from, you get help from, take services from them. What Jamaica does for Guyana. Unfortunately, they had the issue with the hurricane. It's unfortunate, but that is beside my point. Work with people who work with you. Furthermore, I want to find out also the president of the CCJ recent visit to Guyana. Who funded that? The president of the CCJ recent trip to Guyana. Who invited him and who funded it? Was it the CCJ that funded the man's trip to Guyana? Or was it the Guyana's government through the Ministry of Legal Affairs? Who funded the trip of the CCJ president, the Caribbean Court of Justice president, to Guyana? Who paid for that? If it is the CCJ that paid for that, then they would have paid from the Guyana's contribution, financial contribution. Either way, don't use the taxpayers' money to entertain foreigners. If foreigners want to come and do what they got to do, let them come on their own budget. Let their country sponsor them. That's not what people pay tax for. People pay taxes so that the country can keep moving, to be spent within the country. Well, in this case, it's spending to pay the loans back that the government is securing. It's a fucking waste. Guyanese deserve better. Guyanese deserves better. I want to close with this. I, Dr. Prasad, I am no respecter of anybody in government. My reason for that is that God did not put you where you are. It's the people of Guyana trusted your campaign. And by virtue of that, they voted on the candidate of the PPP because they had no other choice. You are not a king. You are a servant to the people who voted for you. And by extension, the nation of Guyana, not a fucking king. So drop the act, man. Drop the act. Be humble. Without those people that you're pissing on, you wouldn't be shit. You would not be shit. You're not a god. You are a servant. It is called public service because you need to serve the public who trusted you with a mandate. Cut the act.